Now, anyone who's looked into it knows that there's prescription drugs, psychoactive, psychotropic, psychiatric drugs in the water supply, especially in the city. I don't know about people who have their own well. Maybe these people are a little bit better off. Maybe that's why the people in the country tend to be quote-unquote conspiracy theorists, and the people in the city tend to be too dumbed down to realize there's a great conspiracy going on. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. But one thing's for sure is you will see people, I don't know if they mean well or not, I don't know. But you will come across people, you will encounter people who say that, well, there is prescription drugs in the water supply because people flush their prescription pills down the toilet instead of taking them. And I will say, yes, absolutely. But is that the underlying cause? No. The reason why there are prescription pills in the water supply, there are psychiatric pills in the water supply, is because Big Pharma manufactures psychiatric pills for mental disorders that they do not understand, and they are harmful, and even people with very simple minds will quickly come to that conclusion if they think about it, and they think outside the cube, outside the box for one moment. They will say, hey, this pill is bad for me. And their parents put pressure on them because that's how society is designed. Normative social influence. So they say, I'm not going to take my pill. What do I do with it? Let me just flush it down the toilet. That way they won't catch it. They won't find it in the garbage. That way I won't slip and leave it in my pockets. And they find it in the wash, what have you. So I'm just going to flush it down the toilet, get rid of the evidence, wipe my hands clean. That is why there are prescription pills, or should I say harmful psychiatric pills in the water supply that are dumbing down people, because to this day there is still people who drink tap water out of the sink, and not all of them have a Berkey water filter, whatever the water filters they have, you know, a Puri or whatever they call them, right? Not all of them have them. And, I might add, that even if they did, it wouldn't perfectly filter it out anyway. So we're starting to see the masses suffering from the side effects of psychiatric medication to a certain degree. Not as much as the people who orally take them or get shots or have the spray. And ask yourself, why did they come out with the spray in the first place? Why do they need an aerosol spray if the major idea wasn't to spray people who don't want to take their medication, to spray the air around their living space, to take advantage of the breezes, to put the sprays, to put automatic dispensers, aerosol dispensers into their ventilation system, for instance? Why did they come up with these sprays? What was the major driving force? When they have the shot, they have the liquid, they have the pill. Why do they need the spray? Oh, it's because about the absorption rate. Oh, really? That's why? Really? So a lot of these pills, such as Zoloft, have acids in them. Depakote has valproic acid. You're telling me when you inhale acid, it doesn't cause any damage to your lungs, your throat, your mouth? I wonder. It's funny how cigarettes cause these things, you know, but acid, inhaling acid is okay. It's perfectly fine. We've done the trials, and you know how we don't kill anybody. You know, it's not like prescription pills have, are the number one cause of death for teens in many places. Oh wait, they are. It's not like we are the people who manufacture the painkillers, not just the psychiatric medication. Oh yeah, we are. It's not like they never used to prescribe painkillers to mental. Oh yeah, they used to. Some places they still do. Oh yeah, we have no excuse. We're a bunch of big pharma scum. That's what they would say if they were being honest, but they'll never put it like that. They'll have a bunch of slutty people working in marketing, a bunch of slutty secretaries, a bunch of prostitutes working for them for sex bribery, sex blackmail for bribery. Well, sex bribery too, you know. It's not like shrinks are disproportionately sex offenders. Oh wait, they are. Funny how that works, right? This is the world we live in, people, where your water supplies are drugged, not because the quote-unquote mental patients predictively flush their medication down the toilet, but because Big Pharma coerces them to take the medication in the first place and manipulate the parents to think that they're doing something good for their child in some cases, and to try to be normal and in denial in others, and try to get their children to take the pills. Some of these people are adults living at home, because guess what? When you stigmatize someone with a mental disorder, it doesn't exactly give them a boost to their self-esteem. It doesn't exactly help with their ambition. Now, does it? Especially if they're poor or colored. As much as I'm not a big fan of that term, let's just keep it simple so we all understand what I'm saying. I don't think you people truly grasp what is going on here. A bunch of killers. Believe me, I live in California. I've lived in California almost my entire life. The only exception was visiting other states and being in boot camp in northern Idaho. And I am telling you, these people are killers. Some of them are Nazi sympathizers. Some of them are related to the families from Operation Paperclip, Project Paperclip, and they're Nazi sympathizing eugenicist friends who are also friends with Margaret Sanger and the KKK, etc. Are rich businessmen. Yet David Starr Jordan, who was, I believe, was the president of Stanford University at one point. Rich people, their descendants, the old money eugenicist crowd, the scientific racist crowd. Scientific racism didn't end with social Darwinism. There still is social Darwinism, by the way, but it didn't end with the popular historical social Darwinist movement. It continued. Eugenics continued. They said, well, there's positive and negative eugenics. Oh, really? Okay, let's say for the sake of argument that there is. The negative eugenics movement still exists. It's alive and strong. You still have Planned Parenthood, and there used to be a American Birth Control League, and American Eugenics Society. I mean, if you look into it, you understand it. Anyone who's looked into eugenics and forced sterilization knows damn well that there's a bunch of scum and a bunch of old money, and they're still around, and they still plot. Anyone who's looked into this stuff knows that. So what's going on now? I can't stress to you enough that Big Pharma and the people that they are affiliated with, some of them Nazis, really what they have in common is occultists. Occultists run the country, they run the world. That's why they're aligned to each other. It's Jewish occultists, Nazi occultists, Masonic groups, satanic cults, Masonic cults which accept people from different religions. Some of them Satanists, some of them Christian bootlickers and secret societies like the Jesuits and Opus Dei and what have you. Different occultists from different religions coming together, and if they weren't occultists before, well, guess what? Now that they're in a secret society, now they are an occultist. Occultists network together. That's what they have in common, quote unquote. Let's look at the commonalities of a religion. Oh, there are a bunch of occult commonalities. And where did they come from? Let's see. Well, it came from Sumer, Babylon, according to us. Greece, Sumer, Babylon. That's the angle they take from it because they're Eurocentric, occultist, Satanist, Babylon system-loving sewage. Speaking of sewage, that takes us back to the gutter, to the sewer system, to the toilets, to the prescription pills. Nazi science. Eugenicist science. Nazis used to study death rates, kill rates, they called them. They say if we do this to this many people die. It's the same thing with prescription pills. We give this many people prescription pills and it comes into their water and all the things that we can expect to happen. The quote-unquote adverse effects, when they kick in as well, it's going to kill this many people. It's going to sedate this many people. It's going to neutralize, pacify this many people. That's pretty much all I got to say about this. I just, I had to bring up all this stuff. I didn't put in part 1. I didn't expect this to be 10 minutes, almost 11, but that's what it is. And I end this again by asking you all, what kind of baby will your child be? Will they be an occultist? Will they be some kind of a prostitute? No, gold digger, which is a prostitute, only smarter. Will they be an escort? Will they be a secretary to some rich guy? Doing sexual favors? Practicing hypergamy, which is in the best interest of a bunch of elitists? Will they be trifling, materialistic, shallow, worldly whores? Will they be prescription pill babies, crack babies, painkiller babies, meth babies, heroin babies, coke babies, alcoholic babies? What kind of poisoned, lost soul will your baby be? And why is it okay to just worry about yourself and let the world go to hell and leave it a worse place than it was when you got there, when you got here? It's funny how a lot of our parents teach us, pick up before you leave somewhere, leave it nicer than when you came. A lot of us are taught that when we're little, but we don't apply that to the bigger picture, to the world. We don't say leave it a better world than when we came into it. All of us end up leaving the world a worse place than when we came into it, because it's controlled by a bunch of occultists who are drugging everybody, poisoning everybody, feminizing everybody, pacifying everybody. And I'm just going to end it there. Good luck.